among the many challenges facing we as a country, in this case, I'm talking about Ghana because we are all Ghanaians.
Yeah.
I was born and bred in Ghana. I believe you were also born and bred in Ghana. In fact, we all schooled in Ghana. And the many challenges facing us as a country, I want us to identify just one sector and see how possible we can dissect. Because for me, there is a lot of confusion when it comes to land acquisition in Ghana. There's a lot of videos circulating on social media platforms, especially on YouTube. There's a lot of diasporans, people who have moved from the diaspora wanting to settle in Ghana. And one of the very important things that hold them to Ghana is for them to settle. Now, for them to settle, they need what? Land. So a lot of people are in dire need to acquire land. And there's a lot of confusion with land acquisition in Ghana. Now, I just want us to discuss to see how well we understand the system when it comes to land acquisition in Ghana. So for me, it is very confusing, and I don't have a clear understanding, or I don't even have a clear picture of how land acquisition works in Ghana. Now, I want to ask you guys about your experiences, and anyone can pitch in as we keep going. So, me personally, I tried acquiring a land, and for over 5 to 6 years now, I can tell you that I have not been successful. I recently went in pursuit of land also. I was not successful. However, a lot of people will say that I didn't go through the right channels. But I also strongly believe that I've done my due diligence, right? I just believe there's a lot of confusion in the system, and I don't know if you have any idea about how land is acquired in Ghana. You just
So let me kind of show your difficulty. Was it based on the location or the region where you are looking for the land, or it's not based on the location?
So since we reside in Greater Accra and we are close to Legon, you've been to my dad's place. I was trying to move outside the confines of Accra. So I was looking at Eastern region that was closer to Accra, because from my place to Eastern region is barely 45 minutes drive, right?
So the outskirts of Eastern region.
Not necessarily the outskirts, but somewhere closer to Accra. Yes.
Okay.
So
the issue is not even based on location. It's the whole system.
it's the whole system. Basically, that's what it is.
The land tenure system.
The land tenure system is very, very horrible.
So I was thinking that because the demand is very high in Accra, that is why most of these issues are popping up. But per your explanation, then means that it's all over, it's spread across.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I know you guys might have heard that, acquiring land in Accra is very difficult. And some people suggest that, Eastern region lands are easy to acquire. You wouldn't have any issues when it comes to, doing your papers and all that. But I strongly believe that the system is, there is some stifleness in the system to the extent that nothing works, basically.
Right.
I just believe that nothing works.
So maybe they may also want to share their personal experiences.
Well, I'll say I went through an estate developer. Then I would say the initial stages was a little bit tough and difficult for me. I saw the location on the map, went over, looked at it, and I selected the portion that I wanted based on the map.
Okay.
I didn't see the land there.
Okay.
So I know the site is at Afien, at Akosogo. I saw the site plan, I selected the section that I wanted.
Okay.
I took 2 plots, and then I paid them. It took almost 3 years. I still couldn't get hold of my documentation to show ownership of the land.
Okay.
We kept calling, sent my wife a couple of times. We still couldn't retrieve those documents. So I made a personal trip back home to go follow up with it because it's been almost 3 years.
Yes.
Full payment has been made, and I still don't have documentation to show I'm still the owner of the land. So I went over there. They took me to the site, and I didn't like the site. I didn't see life in that site in the next 5 to 10 years. I didn't see that. So I told them, hey, I don't think this is gonna work for me. And plus, I tried doing a title search, and they couldn't find that site, even in the database. The documentation was actually flawed. It wasn't a good documentation. They just did something to represent something at that point.
So this is what I keep saying, that whether you go through estate developers or you go through the chiefs, or you buy from families, it is still the same thing. Because who sells land to the estate developers?
Well, still they actually got it from the chief.
Exactly.
It was a family land it's two land that was sold to the estate developer.
Theophilus, do you also have any personal experience?
For
challenge?
For me, so far, we actually got the land, and then it's several years later before we pursue the documentation. And so far, what we got is the indenture to the land. But we haven't registered it yet. But according to the surveyor, he said the process is not too clear.
You see what I'm
because
saying?
I was asking him, what do you need to do? Is it A, B, C, D? Then we get our document. And he was not able to explain. He kept saying that, the process is different. It depends. He kept using the word depends. So I'm like, I just got discouraged. And then because of that, I still haven't registered the land yet because the process is not too clear.
So I would share the theoretical process or what it ought to be. And the caveat that though that is how it must go, or that's how land acquisition must go, people, or it's human institution, and people also create their bottlenecks for their parochial interest. Okay, so we have two main types of land tenure system in Ghana. We have the family lands, and we have the customary lands. So as a prospective land buyer, you need to know which jurisdiction that you want to purchase the land for, the kind of land tenure system they have. Volta region, northern region, or the northern part of Ghana, the 5 northern regions now, they have the family land system. So they have individually owned or family owned lands. And you mentioned Eastern region, and I was smiling because part of the Equiapim region or the Equiapim traditional area also do the family land system. However, 80% of lands in Ghana are customarily owned. When we say customarily owned, it means that the land belongs to the entire community. They acquired that land through maybe fight, war, other forceful acquisition during the early days of settlement. So the land belongs to everybody, but held in trust by of the chief, or the chief is a caretaker for the land. So the entire community, if anyone wants land, they go to this chief, what we call drink fee or customer drink fee. They're supposed to just give a drink, and they give you a portion of that land for you to do whatever.
That is if you are indigenous of that area.
But now most of our areas are now becoming cosmopolitan areas with so many non-indigenous. So these things have actually changed. It has changed to the extent that now there is no more drink, but they give you amount to pay.
So it's become monetary now.
Yeah, so one thing that we have to know, let's focus more on the customary lands first, and maybe we'll later touch on the family lands. So the customary land is never sold. It is leased. And we have the lease system of 55 years or the 99 years.
Make that point very clear.
So we have the lease system. Customary lands are not sold, they are leased. So it is leased to you for 99 years or 55 years, depending on the system agreement that you have. So now, if I want to buy land within maybe Achim Ebuakwa area or New Joabin area, and I know this area is, or any part of the Ashanti region or Western region, and I know that these areas are customary lands or stool lands, what we may also call stool lands, and an individual wants to sell that land to me, I need to query that the land does not belong to that individual. So if that individual has any documentation on such land, then the land was leased to that person, and the person wants to transfer his lease to you. So you need to get that lease to find out the number of years that the lease is left.
Okay.
I mean, the person is only transferring that lease to you. Though the law makes it clear that it should be an automatic renewal of a lease. But imagine that it is 99 years or even 55 years, and the person's father gave it to him, and they had already, or grandfather, and they've already spent about 40 years, and it's left with few years. So you may get that land at the end after 5 years or 10 years. They will tell you that your lease has expired, come and renew. And the chief can tell you now, okay, now I cannot renew the lease for you because we want to give it to an industry. So those are the things you need to know. Now, imagine that most people will now want to go directly to the chief, not individuals in such cases. So if you go to the chief, the World Bank brought what we call the Customary Land Secretariat.
Okay.
Through the land administration project, they have the Lab 1, Lab 2.
Okay.
What that intended, or the intention of that policy, was to streamline land acquisition. So it's so transparent that the data is clear. Everybody knows that portion of land that has been leased to someone. So if you go to the palace, they should tell that, okay, this land was allocated to this person on this date for this number of lease.
Yeah, almost like they are trying to digitize the whole.
But unfortunately, one of my research works actually identified that the idea is very important, that chiefs assumed that the land is for them,
Which is not supposed to be so.
Yeah.
but on the ground, assassinate something of that sort. But technically, it is for the whole community, but held in trust
Of the
that chief
That's
who
it,
is like the overlord. But he's been given the power to do the demarcation and everything of that land. Good. Now, if you want that land and the chief tells you that bring this amount of money, let me give you this plot of land. If that land secretariat isn't working, they need to have what they call the plot allocation committee that is able to tell that, okay, we demarcated up to this point, so we are giving you this point to this point based on the number of acreage that you want.
Okay.
Then you get your private surveyor to pick the points. Then they do what we call the site plan for you.
Okay.
After the site plan, then they develop the indenture. The indenture is the booklet that contains the terms and conditions of agreement.
Okay.
And it also contains the number of years for that land, and some would even state the purpose of the land, because some lands are supposed to be for only residential, others for agri, some are for only commercial purpose.
Factory and all that.
So it would contain all those terms and references in it. After that,
So let me chip in before you move from the indenture side. So if you have access to the indenture, can anybody reacquire or take back that land from you? Is it like a legal document that you can use in court, even though you don't have access to the original land title and all of that? Does it form a basis that you've actually acquired that land?
Yes, the basis starts from when there is that exchange of customary fee or that money you parted away and they give you a land. That is the process. From there, then you get the indenture. The final thing that consummates everything is the lands commission. But at the local setting, most people don't even go to lands commission again. So far as the chief is able to
sign,
append his signature with his witnesses, then that means that you have the land. But for future cases, or for you to also statutorily protect your land, you need to at least complete the process by going to
the land
commission to also get that title deed called the
Land
indenture.
title
But so
registration.
far as when you have the receipt to giving some money to the chief, and he signs the indenture to together with his witnesses, and you also sign your part with your witnesses, then you are the owner of that land.
Yeah.
Just that the government or the state does not recognize you as the owner, but the battle starts from the ground.
Yeah, it starts from
So far as you have that document, then you can prove to everyone that you are the owner of this land. Because if we all belong to, let's say, one community, then everybody knows that this chief gave this land to
witness. So long as the witness.
What the type of land based on the customary system that a chief can take from you is that the land, this is our community, and you are farming at a particular place for free. The chief cannot at the initial moment sack you not to farm over there. However, if development is approaching your farm area, they would compensate you based on the produce you have on your farm and relocate you to another place to go and continue your farming where development hasn't caught up with. So in that case, people assume that the chief had forcefully taken their land from them, but they are only relocating you so that development can reach that place, or maybe they're going to construct a road or factory or something, and they would want to use that part of the land. Since the land belongs to everyone, you need to part ways with that farming land, not your building, but just the farming. That's what the chiefs can take from you. Though the law also gives right to the state to forcefully acquire lands from individuals or from communities, and that one, if the use of that land will be beneficial to the entire community or the state, they can forcefully take that. Yes, that they are giving their discretion, and people in human settings, so maybe some individual somewhere working with a state agency may want to take that land. You may not know what might have happened, but as I said, there are some human bottlenecks and challenges on the ground that people don't see, and they frustrate them. And those are some of the challenges that you may face. But if you are able to, not to say that some chiefs don't engage in double sales and triple sales and the rest, but if you are able to sort of engage with the right person or the right people, and you know that this is the right person, or he's the chief of the town, and he says he's giving you this land, just make sure that he signs your indenture for you for future sake. Even if you don't want to proceed with lands commission, just make sure that the chief signs for you.
Now a lot of people have been enlightened now. Like there's a lot of diasporans moving back home. A lot of people have been enlightened about land acquisition. I know that the current Land Act, there's a lot of interest, right? So I've heard a few terms like the allodial,
Usufruct,
interest, and also what interest can the chiefs sell to you? You know, I know the allodial is the highest. That means you own the land forever, right? What interest can the chiefs now sell to individuals?
That is the usufruct, that you have access to the land to do what, like, you are not restricted from doing what you want to do. But so far as it is not forever, and it is lease, that interest, the usufruct interest, only lasts till your lease period is over. However, a chief cannot deny you renewal of your lease. People would always say that lease of land is an automatic sale of land, because if I lease land now, maybe we are approaching 40 years.
Yes.
And if I lease land for 99 years,
by the
time I die, or by the time the lease expires, the chief and myself would have been gone. It's like an indirect sale of land. But the legal term is lease, not sale of land. So you would have that usufruct. But if you are buying from a family land, then you become an allodial title owner, because they are transferring their full right to you forever.
So does it mean that is why the issue that happened in Achimota Forest, the guy was able to say he has given the land to his people forever? Everything forever.
Gun lands are also family lands. You may have some stool lands, but you have it interspersed with family lands
And stool lands.
Okay. So you have to do your investigation and due diligence. And one thing that can always help our viewers or anyone who is interested in acquiring land is that you need to go to the paramountcy of the traditional area. So right now, if we take Greater Accra, we have some number of paramounts.
Yes.
Maybe let's zero down on you mentioned Eastern region, so you can zero down on Eastern region.
Okay.
You want to do the due diligence. So you saw a land in, let's say, Ebri, but you don't know who is the chief of Ebri to deal with. You need to go to the traditional area, the main palace, which is at Ekropon. That you are interested in a piece of land at Ebri.
Okay.
You want to be connected to the chief of Ebri. So whoever is the officer over there, or if it's the paramount you really meet, would make sure the person connects you to the real chief of Ebri. For you to start from there. So for you to avoid any doubt. Or there could be rivalry chiefs in the town. And everyone may be, and those are some of the things that cause some of these double sales. Because one family says that they are the rightful people to occupy the land. Another family says they are also the rightful people to occupy the stolen land, that we have two chiefs. Imagine that, and we have factions. Imagine that Theophilus belongs to faction A, and Charles belongs to faction B. And you went to the town and you tell Charles that you are looking for the chief's palace. Charles will take you to his.
So there's no system whereby you can easily tell this is a legitimate chief, unless of course you do some due diligence by contacting people.
So the traditional council or the main palace would recognize only one person as their chief, or as the chief of that town. So if to avoid any local or grassroots doubt, if you go to the traditional area or the traditional council itself, they'll direct you to the right chief for you to deal with them. You know that you are dealing with the chief. And our system, if you are acquiring stool land, then you would have the concurrence of the traditional council. I mean, the paramount chief is like, he is the ultimate owner of the entire land. But those sub-towns are just like caretakers for the paramount chief. So those sub-chiefs will only be witnesses to the indenture, depending on their term. Some would also sign and make sure that the paramount chief concurs to that release of land. So you cannot also proceed to lands commission without coming to the traditional council for concurrence. So if you just come from the diaspora and you want to do the due diligence, then you need to go straight to the paramount chief or the palace. And if you also don't know if there are rivalries, you need to maybe go to the regional house of chief to find out who you can contact at, let's say, New Joabin Traditional Council, Osu Traditional Council, or whichever traditional council, because we don't have any chief as the head of a regional house. It's an administrative office, but the regional house would point you to the right chief. Then from there, you can proceed to do that. Not to say that we don't have a lot of challenges, and these chiefs, some are also human beings. Some also err by doing double sale, triple sale, because what World Bank actually wanted to do by ensuring that lands are well documented, it doesn't happen. And one major challenge is that maybe Charles is the chief. Charles has his boys who are the plot allocation committee members, and I came to buy land, and Charles instructed them to go and sell land to so and so. The people could tell you, okay, you bring extra 100 cedis. Let me make the land maybe 1.5 acres for you. While the chief knows that it is what?
Just
1 acre. So the chief does not go to the bush
to go and inspect,
to know what is happening on the ground. But to him, he trusts his people and lets them go and do those things. So on the real ground, that's why you are contacting the right person. On the real ground, there could be some sort of things going on. Some of those things you may not be able to, but you should also not be greedy by someone telling you that bring 50 cedis, let me increase your acreage for you, then you do so.
So let me do a little bit of politics here. So what is, you talk about the World Bank project, what is their agenda here? What was their main goal of pumping that kind of money into our land acquisition system? What is it that what are they
What are they
motivated
looking
them
for?
to do? Yeah.
Or what is their interest?
Yeah, what is their interest?
Okay, you know, a lot of research went into land acquisition in Ghana.
Yes.
And these frustrations are the people rightly point out. So they were just trying to streamline the land acquisition and documentation process.
Okay.
Because most of our policies are still in the paper stage without any digitization.
Yeah.
And if unfortunately a chief dies, another family, because we may have different gates occupying one
Descends the
zone,
throne.
another family may come and all that had happened previously.
They could just wipe it off.
So in a nutshell, based on your explanation, means that it's like our system, they have failed. We are failed people.
Yeah.
So they are coming in
To help
to
us.
streamline things.
to help.
Yeah, I don't think World Bank had any parochial interest in this particular system. But as I told you, the system was rather frustrated by our own people on the ground. By some of the chiefs, the World Bank was establishing offices for people with laptops, printers, and the rest, so they could manage the land system. Some people received those documents or like the equipment, yeah. And when
Use
the
it
World
for
Bank
something
left,
else.
they shut down the office because maybe some also don't want to expose their land transactions to the public. Because if you know that, okay, this chief had sold this acre,
Double sale.
the acre, not even double sale, maybe
This much,
this
much
much
of land,
then
yeah.
There will be a
and
lot of
some may
Yeah.
also want to work with their trusted people, so they sort of block the external challenges to help. So when I ran my research, I realized that a lot of land transactions took place at the, how do you call it, Lands Commission,
Okay.
but there was no record at the various traditional councils
I
or
see.
the offices established by the World Bank called the Land Customary Land Secretariat. No documentation. While we had over hundreds of documentations at the Lands Commission, though they could be signing the indenture, but they are still not keeping any record at the traditional council.
So is it that Ghana in particular, we are only good at enacting laws,
And
just
not-
like the Lands Act
20, Land Act 2020.
just barely a few years ago. We are only interested in enacting laws, but the things that will help improve the process, we are not interested in that.
I think that is what is happening, because if you look at it from a general perspective, right? Let's move from you acquiring the land from the chiefs. They've done their site plan, or you've paid for a surveyor, they've done the site plan, they've done the indenture, everyone is signed it, everyone is, appended their signature. So now you have an indenture, right? The next process is to go to where? The Lands Commission.
Yeah.
That is where all the problems start.
The dreaded Lands Commission.
The dreaded Lands Commission. That's where all the problems
It
start.
took me almost 4 years
Just to get your,
just to get my
solid there.
my title.
and there are a lot of people.
And I
in
even
Ghana.
have to go through an agent, because when I went to the land title office, it was just go to this person, go to that person. You're missing a signature here. You need to get this person to sign. I'm like, why don't we have this thing streamlined so everybody will know the process involved?
Exactly,
So
yeah.
when you get your indenture, you know what to look for. But they just hand it over to you. This is your indenture, and then you don't know what to look for. So when it comes to time for you to go to land title to go register
It's
it,
a problem.
then now they identify staff on the indenture.
Yes.
Now you got to
You
go
have
look
to
for
fix,
these people
coordinate.
to come and fix it.
Now they tell you.
The guy that sold my
Yes,
the one that signed my document, he was sick at the hospital
Yes,
at the
imagine
time,
that.
and we needed his signature. He was sick at the hospital.
And there was nobody there.
There was nobody to sign, and he was
his
sick.
hospital bills.
Well, however they got his signature, I don't know.
So-
But they got a signature.
So
for
the
me.
problem now is there's a lot of people who have acquired land and they don't have the land title.
Yeah.
So a lot of people in Ghana just have what? The indenture.
Indenture, yeah.
Some of them have tried, they've taken the necessary step to register the land. However, they've been frustrated by the system.
Yeah.
So they've not been able to, acquire the land title.
Yeah.
You know,
So in that sense, the government is losing revenue.
a lot.
A lot of revenue.
lot.
They are
Well,
losing revenue.
People are making money,
Yeah.
and government is losing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, because me, for instance, in my case, I haven't registered because the system was frustrating the process.
Yeah.
So in that sense, government has lost
Yes.
revenue.
Yeah.
And there are millions of people
Yeah.
like
A
that
lot.
who have not
A
registered
lot.
yet.
Yeah, but one thing I always tell people is that while pursuing the frustrating bottlenecks to register, physically protect your land.
Okay.
At least if it's a wall,
Yeah, put
Do
a
the
fence
wall.
wall around
fence
it.
wall, or you put some
structure.
or something on it. So you need to do both concurrently while physically protecting it. Try the statutory need, because if the statutory is frustrating, you don't complete, at least you don't get losing your land, because some people could acquire this indenture that you've been looking for so many years. Someone could take 24 hours
to
just
get
to get
knowing
that.
the right
person
people.
tells you that he is the owner of the land, and he will sack you while you've paid
Yeah.
to someone. Or a new chief comes and he says, I didn't transact with you, I don't know you, come and start the process
Process again.
afresh with me. But at least, you know, if you've put something on it and the issue goes to court and the rest, at least you've taken extra step to possess your land physically. With that, you would also have some
So-
mercy with the law.
There is a provision in the new law,
New act of
in the new act, Land Act 2020,
Yeah.
that if someone double sales, you can actually sue them, and the law can take, the law can grip them and jail them for up to 10 years. But I don't believe that is working. Are you going to report a chief to the police for the police to come and arrest the chief? How are
I
we?
think the only thing you can do to achieve is to go to court.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, because you cannot go to police.
Police
to go and
they
arrest
should
you.
go and arrest the
So
chief.
you have to go to, and they mostly lose cases.
And it takes a lot of time for the court to deal with these cases.
Especially being a chief.
So people get frustrated, and guess what?
But if you have a genuine case, then you can win the case. So always don't put face to some of these things, whether a chief or not.
Okay.
The moment you hand over your money, take your receipt
Receipt.
as your evidence. The moment you take your receipt and your indenture is ready,
Do something on the land.
let them sign for you.
Can they thumbprint to fingerprint? Because
No, so what
Footprint.
So in my experience, what I told my mother, because that land I acquired it when I was in Ghana, somewhere in 2009 thereabout.
Okay.
So at the time that we were doing the indenture, my mom and then another man joined her to the chief's place. So what I told them was that they should take photographs after everything, take video.
Okay.
He signing the thing
Yeah.
and all.
So
So,
that-
I still have all the
Everything. So
on my
you
phone
can
that
pin
I've
them when
kept,
it goes to.
I've kept in my archives.
That's good.
Physically, you
Yes.
physically protected your
Yes.
land. So
Yes.
that's what I tell.
Yeah, so I
people.
let them take videos, photographs, and the chief was holding the indenture. My mom, everything.
That's
That's a
but-
dream.
but whatever you do to
He
protect
knows
your
what he has
land,
been through before.
whatever you do to protect your land. Now nobody can come take that land from you, despite the fact that you've not gone to
Yes.
land.
Yeah,
And I'm
yes.
very sure that you might have even built on it.
Yes,
Your parents
there's
are
a
in.
building on it.
So those are the things, because sometimes the process, as you said, could be frustrating.
Yeah.
I've been successful myself that maybe I work within that sphere. I've also faced some
Oh, yeah.
challenges.
I let them like they were. My mom was winning an award. So a handshake
Yeah.
going on. So those things it would never get me.
No.
It's in my archives.
No.
Unless of course you collab a Google Drive.
Nonetheless, we have some successful cases as
yes.
well that people were able to get it and pass through the whole process.
I think if they make the system very clear,
Yeah.
a lot of people will now acquire lands.
Those who manage the system will make sure that
They are able to still get
so
something
that
out.
the benefits, which
Yeah.
shouldn't be the case. And maybe if the digitalization could work,
Work,
that
yeah.
we have less of human contact in this process, it would help. But
Yeah.
is it possible? That would be a topic
Yeah.
for another day. If
Well-
digitalization will be possible in Ghana's public sector, because a lot of human factors and go and come,
Yeah.
waste a lot of money, time,
Yeah.
and next
So,
time.
so there was this project that I was thinking about some few years ago with my friend. So the whole idea was if the whole process could be digitized. Okay, so what they will do is that they gather all the titles or the indentures or whatever it is. Then each parcel of like the whole Ghana map will be on the map like this, and each coordinate and point
Will be plotted.
will be mapped out. So anybody can go to that Google site
And then easily.
you will see that the thing is being cut out in a way that okay, it's been acquired. Once you click on it, it pops, something pops and says it's been acquired. All the thing is digitized. So once you are going to buy any land, you can go to Google
Yourself, you can do
and
the
check
search yourself.
just right
Yeah,
there
because
before
I-
you make any attempt.
I know Lands Commission.
That would be great.
Lands Commission
That would be great.
have such software that they are able to maybe conduct searches on lands in their offices. What they need to do is a brilliant idea. They need to make such a thing public. That you don't have to come to Lands Commission,
Yes.
pay again
Yes.
for someone to hold.
Or even if you want to even use it, you can pay a fee, a token
Yeah.
yourself.
to
Pay,
go.
use mobile
Yeah.
money to pay,
Pay
access the
a
pay for a
token,
number
then
of days.
All you need to do
then
is
the
to
thing
enter the 4 coordinates.
Yes.
So your surveyor or yourself, you can just stand on the 4 coordinates, pick
Yes.
your coordinates, enter this is the north, okay,
Yes.
point A, B, C,
Yeah.
D. Then it pops up if it
Yes.
is your land or if it has trespassed into somebody's registered land,
Yes.
if it's a virgin land.
Yeah.
That's
The
such a
government
good-
can make money out of
Yeah.
this thing so
I'm-
easily.
I'm
Yeah.
sure
With
those
the search
listening-
issue you're talking about, when I ran the search on mine, it actually showed that someone also attempted registering that same land. So they had to wait for, I don't know if it was 90 days or something. They have to wait for about that part. I can't remember what duration it was.
Okay.
And if nobody comes to challenge them, that was when they could proceed
To
with my
register.
registration. Because someone was actually trying to register that land. And
That
when I
means
acquired the
somebody
land,
was in the process.
Yes.
And hasn't finished.
yes.
Now, don't
When
go.
I acquired the land, someone was doing, there was a foundation on the land when I acquired it. So it could be that that person started a process and then abandoned it or whatever it was. So they had to wait for that statutory number of days that they had until if nobody shows up, then they will go ahead and proceed.
So
with
one
it.
question I want to ask John too is that, so why are they making land acquisition
So cumbersome.
so not the cumbersome side? That is for we Ghanaian citizens.
Okay.
There is also part of the section of the act. It talks about foreigners not acquiring land and
Yes.
all of that. They can acquire, but they also need to go through some process. But the diasporans, like the African Americans that are trooping in,
Yeah.
they're making it so easy for them to acquire land. Why that discrimination?
Well, actually, they
That was
go
what,
through the same system. They are not making it easy for them. They are rather making it tough for them because a foreigner can never own land in Ghana. Get
Are
that?
you sure about that?
A foreigner,
Because
Charles,
I have
Charles, a foreigner can never own land in Ghana. The new Land Act makes that very clear. They can only lease land to you for up to only 50 years. And after the 50 years, they can renew for you for another 50 years.
okay.
So Ghana doesn't sell land to foreigners, right? However, they can go, like, if I'm a Ghanaian, right?
Yeah.
They can go through a Ghanaian to acquire land for up to 99 years.
So it's all about demand
And supply.
and supply. Yeah. So maybe a foreigner could, right now, if you take maybe $10,000.
Yes,
and
yes.
convert that to Ghana cedis.
A lot of money.
That's
Well, over 100,000, 120.
100%
Yes.
of that money.
Yeah.
When you convert it to what that can do in Ghana, maybe someone in Ghana may not able to do that. So the foreigners or the diasporans going to Ghana to acquire land are acquiring huge acreage for farms and other
Purposes.
purposes. So
Yeah, so I think I have the act here. it says section 10
Okay.
of the 2020
The Lands Act.
Act. Yeah. It says restrictions on acquisition of land by non-citizens. And then it says 1. A person shall not create an interest in or right over land in Ghana which vests in another person who is not a citizen of Ghana, a freehold interest, howsoever described. And it goes on 2, 3, 3, and 4, 5, up to whatever. So already it's clear.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
But how are they acquiring it when they come to Ghana?
So that-
Money. You
so
see
that
the
is
middleman and the money.
So maybe
Because I was looking at this as Asebu
Yes,
Pan African
Central region.
Yes, because I have a mate who is actually a
So
YouTuber
and
that's
also
champion.
some of them are
partner.
acquiring citizenships. And once you acquire citizenship,
Changes the dynamics.
They're changing the
yes,
dynamics.
it changes the
But
dynamics.
some also partner with Ghanaians.
Yes,
And
yes.
the thing is, everybody wants their communities to
Develop, yeah.
So if you go now and tell them that
African Americans are coming.
this is the money
Yeah,
I
they are
have,
bringing
I want to
resources.
establish a factory over here. No matter who the person is, you will eagerly want to go and give you, and even if you don't have that amount of acreage, you want to give you more than that, because in end it exposes the
The
town to
area.
Yes,
their economic
new development,
viability and the rest. So though the act is there, the thing, how many people are also educated about that? But those who even know, if I partner with you, it's no more a direct foreign transaction.
Yeah.
But it's a Ghanaian involved.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
only that the person has what, a business partner outside. They may,
Yeah.
that person may even front the transaction.
Yeah.
That maybe the registration may become in a company's name. The company's name is not an individual. How do you tell it is for the foreigner
Or
for the-
So for every law there are some loopholes, but I'm sure the chiefs are also rational beings who may want the interest of themselves and their town. So
The town.
they may give out such land because of the promise of bringing development to the
Me
community.
personally, I've always held this assertion that land doesn't belong to anybody,
All right.
right?
That's
Land-
a philosophical.
Yeah, but I believe
concept.
yes. So, selling land to foreigners, I don't see anything wrong with it, right? They can. So now it's more like even we
There's
Ghanaians.
something wrong with it.
No, hold on.
You have to explain
Hold on.
why.
Yes,
you say
I'm
that.
waiting
hold
to
on.
listen to his
Hold on.
explanation of
Even
this.
now, with the new Land Act, the provisions have been made that even Ghanaians themselves can never own land outright. You can only lease for up to 99 years. Unless
No, that
you.
is customary land.
Okay,
Because
exactly.
the family
So
lands
people are not so much educated on this. So unless you go and buy an allodial title
Yeah.
from families,
Yeah.
that's the only way you can own land forever.
Well, I didn't know
Is it-
the two difference. I
You
would
see?
have gone for the loaded one.
Okay, so maybe when you bought your land.
So
it-
about that, mine was leased for 99 years. The realtor, so the estate developer I got it from had it for about 15 years. So
Okay.
I was left with 75
You
years.
see?
I was left with about 75
so
years.
actually,
So with
it
this
transferred-
75 years, that was transferred to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
After 75 years, then what?
It goes back to
You
the
have
owners.
to renew it.
You have to renew
So
it.
what if I have my big old mansion on this,
Well,
and then they tell
so
me that
this-
hey,
this
we are
is the
renewing
catch.
the lease for
So this is the catch.
X
Land.
amount, and I can't pay.
So this is the
what
catch.
happens to
Yeah,
my
whoever
property?
inherited that property will have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So this is the catch. Land.
That's crazy.
Land is what? The land itself and everything on the land.
Yeah.
The land is the land itself and everything on the land. So after 75 or however many years, it
Yeah.
goes back to the owners.
With all the stuff on it.
Yes. No. So
Are you
but
a bit of?
they cannot refuse you renewal.
Yeah, that.
Do you get it?
Yes.
They can never refuse you renewal.
But then,
However-
what if the renewal is so?
That's what I'm saying. What if the
Even
renewal is
expensive
expensive?
than the thing that is funded?
Anyway, practically, it's only maybe organizational or government or other institutionally acquired lands like those leases that I've heard of renewal of lease. But for one plot of land for residential purposes, for
They wouldn't so much worry.
I've never heard
Yes.
of the renewal.
Once you acquire it, you've acquired it forever.
It's good that you sort of reiterated what I was trying to say, that
Yeah.
people need to do their due diligence of transfer of lease.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
good
you
that
see,
you brought that
let me
example.
chip in here. Is the reason why we are not seeing the renewal now is because probably there's still more land to sell. Yeah, let's say
Once they run out.
when they run out,
Yeah,
that
you
is
start
where the
investing
renewal thing
Be a
will start-
big deal.
will
To
start
say, hey,
kicking.
this way we're gonna get money now.
Yeah.
So we gotta
So,
start following up on this renewal.
Because I know some chiefs do come, new chiefs come, and they request for everybody to bring their
Exactly.
indenture
Indenture.
for them to know if your lease
Yes.
has expired.
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
So those school lands and all family lands, that means that they are running out.
Yeah.
As long as they start doing that thing, they are
Yes,
running out.
yeah. So it's good that Charles made his example to buttress the point that if anybody is going for a stool land or customary land, the person from an individual or a real estate agent or whoever he is, not the chief, that means the person is receiving a transfer of lease,
Yeah.
title deed, and the person must scrutinize that document. Otherwise, they could sell to you or
Yeah,
give
you
you
have
a lease
less
of only
year.
5 years.
Yes.
So that is a huge lesson to everybody. So if you know
You have to do your
the,
due diligence.
the jurisdiction in which you want to acquire land, find out the kind of land tenure system in
That
that
they have.
jurisdiction, then you know what to do.
And the reason why I didn't agree with Senyo is
Yeah.
that with the foreigners owning land is, you see, Ghana is a very small country.
Yeah.
Texas is almost like 2.5, or let me say 3 times.
Three
the
times,
size of-
yeah.
3 or 4 times.
Three
Yeah.
times the
It's
size
even,
of
it's
Ghana.
even bigger than Nigeria.
So if Ghana we allow foreign powers, it could not just be individual. Foreign powers to come and acquire land in Ghana will run out.
So why would
Let's say
where
the
would they
Chinese,
take- where would
let's
they
say
take
the
land
Chinese,
to?
now that they are coming to Africa, they are overpopulated.
Yeah.
They are looking for places to take over lands
Yeah.
and property.
One unfortunate-
So when they come to Ghana these days, Ghanaian partners are bringing them.
But
they are acquiring land,
we hope-
selling it back to Ghanaians
But you see,
At
that
a
is
higher
where-
rate.
at a higher.
that is where
rate.
citizenship comes to play, right? Our sovereignty will not allow them. Where would they take the land to?
No.
You come and build on the land,
So,
but
Yes.
we have
So
so
We are
many.
selling
Let me
it.
give
They are
you-
buying
let me-
this
let
land,
me give you-
fencing
let me
it,
give you a
and
practical-
selling it back
reselling
to the
it to the
citizens.
let me give you a practical example.
It used to be 100 by 100 for a lot.
Charles, the realtor that sold the land to Charles, he sold it to Charles.
Okay.
Charles thought he was buying land.
Yeah, that's
Until-
what I thought. Until I saw the document.
And so he saw the document to know that it is lease. So maybe
Yeah.
he went for 1,000 acres of land or
For 99 years.
That's exactly what they did. They
Then
bought a
hectares.
vast area.
Then
The plan
hectares.
was to build an estate.
10 hectares
And
of
they
land.
ran out
And
of money.
because they were going for that huge acreage or hectares of land, you get it at a very cheap price.
Price,
And
yeah.
I'm sure in an area that nobody may even want to
go.
they capture
Keep it for that
Demarcate
15
it.
years.
demarcate it and keep it. Now they are now going to sell it
At exorbitant rates.
yeah, exorbitantly. And so far they have the indenture, the chief cannot even have access to that land again. So people are actually making a lot of
Money.
profit out of it. So it is there that I side with
The
Theophilus,
foreign powers,
that
yes.
foreign powers, they have the financial wherewithal
Yes.
to acquire as much as they want.
They can come and acquire a whole town or
Because
city
you,
or
as I said,
Let us rule African Americans out because they are part of us. They
no,
are us.
No, we are not even.
We are not
I'm
making
talking
that-
about Chinese
Okay,
foreign
yeah.
powers.
Oh,
Where
no,
is
those
it
ones
from?
are different.
Yeah, I'm talking
Okay.
about foreign powers.
We are
African Americans, we want them to come back home.
Yes.
We want
We want them to
development
come back
in
home.
every community and every part of Ghana, but it should be without parochial
Interest,
Some
yes.
people are carrying those huge acreage or hectares of land
For their
but
own
they
personal-
know they are what mineral deposits around
Okay.
those places. So they'll come and with the pretense of want to establish farms, factories, and the rest. They acquire the land.
Yeah.
When mine goes off it, there may be
Illegally.
they are digging holes and doing extractions and
Of
corners
minerals,
of those
yeah.
land, destroying our land.
Yeah.
In the end, excavate everything. Then later they start selling it to our people. So we need to establish
Yeah.
the clear purpose for the acquisition, and the chiefs must be the gatekeepers
Okay.
of
But-
our lands and the communities, and scrutinize these people very
Yes,
well
yes.
to know if actually they are coming for the right businesses. And
Yeah,
it's
but
really-
right now the chiefs are claiming that their hands are tied because sometimes the land is there, these foreign powers come in, go get documentation from the government, they
Government,
issue
yeah.
them with this thing, and then before the chiefs open their eyes, they are on the land working.
Yeah.
Now they show the chief a document, the chief cannot do anything. You see, so that is a big
that is
problem.
happening with a lot of these.
That's the illegal mining
Yeah,
stuff.
illegal mining and government coming in that they
Yes.
can forcefully acquire lands for their purposes and the rest. I would only say that no matter where you work, no matter what you do, if you actually believe in Ghana and the development of Ghana, you must excuse some level of self-centeredness or selfishness to pursue the agenda of building Ghana. In the end, the Ghana is for all of us. So if I'm the one at Lands Commission or at the Chief's Palace or the chief himself or even acquiring land, it should be for one good purpose to develop Ghana rather than a parochial
Interest.
Yeah, I would say maybe these are
Okay.
my.
I think we'll
Final
have to
words.
do a part 2 of this video.
So, before we even finish this thing, he can summarize everything.
Okay.
And then tell the viewers if you are innocent, you have not acquired land before.
This
How
is
do you
the
start?
steps
Yes,
involved.
yes. The process
From A to Z.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll
Just a brief summary.
All right.
Yeah.
So before that, I would urge everybody to read the new Lands
Land
Act
Act.
of 2020. There's an interesting part that
It should be attached to the.
That was
Yes.
There's an interesting part that was also added to say that if you acquire as a family, you are married, you acquire land, you cannot transact that piece of land without the consent of your partner or your wife. And
Okay.
if you are no more, your wife automatically owns that land so far as you are married. That is something to also protect, because some men would claim that the land is for them,
For
while
them.
maybe their wife or their partners have also played some role
Role
in
in
acquiring
acquiring them.
acquisition. So everybody should educate themselves by extensively reading the New Lands Act and the corners and the rest. So if you want to acquire land in Ghana, maybe this is your first time you want to acquire land in Ghana, first, the due diligence lies with you. It is your money. Before you part with, do your investigations very well. Know that the person you are buying the land from or you are acquiring the land from is the right person to alienate that parcel of land to you. First, find out the jurisdiction you are buying the land from, the nature of land tenure system they have. Is it a family land? Is it a customary or stool land? If it is a family land, make sure you deal with the family head.
Okay.
And do your investigations to know that that person is the family head. And while dealing with that person, don't deal with that person in secrecy. Make sure there are other family members present for you to have your witnesses that yes, on this day you gave money to so and so person and he gave you receipt with the letterhead or with the heading of the family name on it. Even if there's none, make sure you type something and make sure this person signs this with witnesses so that you can hold on to that. If it is customary land, and make sure that you are going to deal with the chief. If someone had acquired it and wants to transfer his deeds to you, make sure you study that indenture or that piece of document that contains the rule and look at the number of years the land was leased to that individual. If it is chief, make sure that the chief and his elders who will be witnesses to the land sign this document, and you also sign before you part ways with some money. You can give them part. Make sure when you are coming to sign, you give them the final part of the land. If they do not agree, just make sure that the day you're giving them the land, they also give you receipt. And while you're going to proceed to register your land with the Lands Commission, because it will take longer periods, sometimes 6 months, 1 year, or even more, start physically protecting your land. And before you even do anything, make sure you go to the land, talk to 1 or 2 people around.
Yes.
Maybe some neighbors to find out what is happening to this piece of land. You are interested in acquiring this piece of land. They could tell you that this piece of land is not cool. if you get it, someone else will come and litigate. Maybe some people have also come around and they've shown interest or they've acquired this land. But you could start building and somebody will come and pull down your building because they've also acquired the land. So just make sure you take some time of your busy schedule to do all your investigations and due diligence before you start parting ways with money. And sometimes we may see land in the bush that maybe if it's not developed, the place is not developed, but if it is clean and genuine, you can acquire it. Go read some more after your registration. By the time you realize the place starts to open up, developing, you put up your structure. So far there's access routes and all the amenities. Your peace of mind is better than any other thing. So these are my few
So
words.
before you even conclude, I have a few more things that we can add before you conclude. So how do you deal with land disputes? Land dispute, like maybe you have land issue with a chief or whoever leaves the land to you or whatever. How do you resolve issues like that? And then maybe you add on top of it how you handle land guard issues. Assuming I own the land, I bought the land. How do you handle land guard? We cannot discuss this whole topic without discussing or talking about land guard. Land disputes. How do we handle it?
The Act also extensively deals with or make provision for dealing with land guards, but the High Court has created a separate court for land litigation. So we have the land court or land section of the land court, so that it could fast track land litigation. So depending on the level of litigation, if it's between you and another co-tenant that is encroaching on your land, maybe the first point of call will be the one who sold the land, either the chief or the family head. But if it's between you, the double seal, and the chief or the family head, the right place to go is the court, the court system. So make sure you have all your documentation, and it may take long, but so far as you have everything right, you go to court, because the court has created the land court so that it could fast track. I'm sure within no time you'll be able to get justice for those land. For the land guard, the act talks about it, but it's a notorious thing that has cropped into our system, our land system, because you could have your land and everything, but they will come harassing you and your workers that you need to pay digging fee.
Yes. Or bush fee.
or
protection fee.
Or digging fee.
Protection fee. That's what they came.
The best response I'll give to people is that the chief gave you the land. Maybe he contracted the land guards to wake off maybe other encroachers or other people from coming to your land. So if you go to your land and you are being harassed by these land guards in court, go to the chief for him to notify the land guards that he has given you this land. This is the document to show that he has given you this land, so that they don't harass you again. Because without the chief's permission, or without the owner of the land's permission, or the one who has jurisdiction over that area who gave you the land, without his permission, I don't think there will be any land guard harassing anyone at that particular location. So make sure you have conversation with that person who has given you the land, to talk to those people to tone down, maybe to create a rapport with them if you want to part ways with a token for them, but it shouldn't be a ritual or something. If it wants to be excessive, make sure the chief stops them, because if he gave you access to the land, I don't think anybody has to harass you from accessing your own land. So this will be my personal advice to dealing with such.
What if they know genuinely that this land belongs to you, yet they pretend as if they don't know,
It's always
just
been
to
the
find a taxes to extort extra money from you?
Always that's the case. I don't think they have powers beyond
the chief. I think John Paul answered it, because I had a similar situation. They came in trying to take money. Well, they took money from my wife the first time. I let it slide because that was the first time. And then they came the second time talking about they are the ones that protect the
the
land.
land.
So we need to pay them an amount, else they were gonna prevent the guys from working. So I told them I wanted to speak to whoever their leader was. So I'm like, hey, I paid you guys the first time out of courtesy, but I'm not doing it again.
Okay.
I need you guys to return those tools to these guys and get the hell out of that place because I'm not paying you guys no money. It's like, well, we're not leaving them, we're taking the equipment. So I'm like, well, take the equipment away. The equipment are not for me, they are for the guys. So if they're not gonna protect their property, take it away. I'll get new contractors to come and work for me, and then you can deal with them later. So they took the tools, and then the guys came begging, and then I gave them the money to go and retrieve their tools. And I told the guys not to step foot on that land again. And they came to me, it's like, well, oh, you don't have a site plan. No, you don't have a permit. You don't have a building permit. And that is why they came over. So because of that statement they made, I quickly went and focused on getting that building permit. And since I got that building permit, I had the guys put it right in front of the house, and that was the end of the problem. So as soon as they come over there, they saw the building permit, they just went away because they don't have anything to.
Even before you start anything on the land, before you even erect a wall, you need a building permit.
Yeah.
But
A lot of time we don't follow the process, and it's not because we don't we want to do it, it's because we don't know.
it's because it takes a lot of time.
And it takes time,
yes.
well, because when I was doing my John, that's Ghana system for you. When they were doing the permit, I already had a fence wall to protect the land.
Yes.
Because I was coming to the United States and I didn't want to just leave the virgin land sitting by itself. So I fenced it, put a gate and a lock on it. So when they came when they were doing measurement for the permit, one of the guys like, well, if you give me XZ amount, I'm gonna do the report in such a way that there's nothing on the land. Else, if it shows that there is something on the land, they'll charge you.
Yes.
They'll charge you more.
It's gimmicks.
So it's all the system. It's all about the system.
had its right ways, but the human
Elements,
interface
yes.
always frustrated for their personal
Gain.
interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because sometimes they don't make the rules publicly available. That okay, once I get to their office, the rule says A, B, C, D, pasted over there, like a billboard.
Everyone is looking
Everybody
for
is looking,
Yeah.
but they don't do that. They hide it.
Yeah.
So immediately you go asking, then they feel like you are ignorant.
Yeah.
Then they use all their gimmicks on you.
Yeah.
The public system is full of a lot of bottlenecks.
Yeah, they're always waiting for you to show or express that ignorance.
And then
Then
Capitalize on it
Yeah.
and then take undue advantage of you.
Yes.
I'll be happy if the money even goes to the government.
Oh.
But all this money, they just give
No, the
peanuts.
thing
They
is
give
that
peanuts to the government
the
and
thing
they
is
put
that
the rest in their pocket.
they can eradicate most of the managers in place of all these places. They can erect a whole billboard at the lands commission or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
The process A, B, C, D up to Z, mount it there. What is so difficult about
They won't
this?
do it.
They don't do it.
It is the digitization that could help. As you said, someone could just sit behind a computer and pop up to know if a land is
It's
registered
acquired or not.
Same way, after acquiring your land, you can just go to one office for your building plan.
Yes.
Then they'll give you a code, you could enter into it, then the appropriate fee pops up.
Yeah.
You pay that fee, then the system prints, generates
Your
a
permit,
receipt or permit for you.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Because before you register the land, they've already done inspection of the
Everything
land.
on the
Yeah.
land.
And before they should even sell land for you, they should make sure that the place is properly demarcated and everything before. So if they already sold their land, that the area is not well demarcated and everything, then from the scratch you are buying maybe land at waterlogged area. So the thing is even spoiled from the beginning.
Yeah.
But if the system should be well organized from the beginning, from the acquisition stage, I don't even think there is a need
I
to
think even the permit side of things should even be tied to the process.
Yes.
One time.
Yes.
That would be
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
As soon
That's
as
That would be perfect. Because
Yeah.
why are you acquiring the land?
Yeah.
The purpose
for
of
residential
Yes.
purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, so the permit should just be
should be
applied
part,
to
part,
it.
part of it.
the
The moment you're able to register your land with
You
land
get your
commission,
permit
it
alongside.
comes with permit.
Yeah.
You shouldn't pay so much, but now you pay and now they would value your land if it is for a story building.
Yes.
Or
How many rooms you are putting in
then they will
the
charge you,
kitchen,
you know,
toilet, everything.
If you are building story, that means you have money.
Money,
you
so
have
they're
to
going
to-
pay.
They count how many
But
rooms
so
you
many
have
people have
on the
also
plan.
underestimated that thing. That
And
okay, they are having 3 bedroom. They charge them for 3 bedroom, and later on build a story building.
Yes.
Yes.
And they don't even come back to even
They don't
check.
come
Once
back
they
to
issue
check.
the permit, that's
Yeah.
it.
That
They
is
don't
it.
come back to check.
Yeah.
So you have people who say I'm building 2 bedroom and they end up building
Yeah.
5 bedrooms.
Yes.
And that's what they have.
Yeah, that's
So
what they have.
should something happen and you need to go over there to intervene, let's say we have a fire truck going to respond. On the plan, they know it is a 2 bedroom house, but when they get over there, it's a 6 bedroom. And there's nobody going back to quality assurance to go and see.
Quality assurance.
Yeah, to go and see
Is there any plan that tells that it's a 2 bedroom?
They don't go back to go and see if it's true.
Yeah.
Charles said he was building 2 bedroom. We gave him a permit for 2 bedroom. Let's go and check and see if indeed he put 2 bedroom.
just
over
like
there.
here.
They don't go back to
If
check.
you have a house, you are building a fence wall. They have to approve, even
Yes.
small fence wall.
Yeah.
The city has to approve the
Yeah.
kind of fence wall you put up.
Yeah.
They'll come
About
back. You
6
will.
feet.
You put it to.
They will come
Later
back.
on, they'll come back
Yes.
behind you.
Yeah.
Come and check.
Yes.
And issue you ticket.
They have people
they-
driving
they-
around because
Yes.
if you have a residential, if you want anything above 6 feet, you got to get a permit.
Yes.
Yes.
If it is below 6 feet, you don't need
You
permit
do.
from the city. But anything above 6 feet,
You
you
need
need
a
a permit.
Yeah.
And you have code enforcement officers
Coming
driving
around.
around. Government have provided them vehicles, and their job is just drive around neighborhood. And we have these people in Ghana that are being paid, but they are just not doing their job, and nobody is checking to make sure these people are doing their job. And they just sitting in the office,
I mean,
getting all the
could
money.
be that the incentives are not
That too.
much. So
Yeah.
if maybe, but it's human institution, no matter how much it's raised, if some people are corrupt,
They are always
corrupt,
going to be corrupt.
I think maybe
Yeah. This kind of job, national service can do this job.
Exactly.
Yeah. Put them in a car. Just be driving them around.
Yeah.
Instead of them sitting in the office and people sending them, buy me watching, buy me.
Yes,
Then
message.
Turn them into
I
messengers.
remember doing our national service. One of my friends, our director, asked him to type a whole Asempa hymnal or something.
Look at
Well, the director couldn't buy one.
Yeah, so
He
he used
decided wanting to type.
office compare facility she type and print.
Well, we hope that a lot.
National
will be
service
done.
can be put into the system. That's their job. After from 9 to whatever, they
Yeah.
close, we go back home.
We
We
hope
have-
that a lot will be done to, manage and curb a lot of the issues that we have with land acquisition.
So
in
far as
Ghana.
the conversation is going on,
That's what I was about to
I'm
say.
Sure things may start changing.
Yes.
So let's
People
start
will now
talking.
be enlightened.
Let's start talking about
Yes,
it. Let's start
let's-
reading about it.
Yes.
Let's start sending our.
And
petition.
one bad thing that we face as people too is that we don't like to read.
Yeah.
After school, we don't like to read again.
Yes.
I'm number one.
Unless of course they are ready to sit for exams.
Yeah.
And then they go back to read.
Then go back to read. And that is why the smart people who
Yeah.
like reading
The
take
technic-
advantage of those who don't like
Or the
reading.
technical officers.
Because we like to ask, oh, so how do I do this?
Yeah.
How do I do this? Meanwhile, the document is there. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even
The
I'm
information
here.
is available.
Yeah.
The land act
The land
is,
act.
is
It's
on
right
my
on the
phone.
Yeah.
This morning I was arguing with somebody about Chieftaincy Act. I pulled it on my phone. I went to read. I made my point.
So you may have to come.
So you have to read. People
you have
don't
to
read.
come for
I think-
consultancy
I
on
think-
the
yeah.
chieftaincy. I'll charge you
Consultation
per hour on the chieftaincy.
The thing-
Consultation
The
fee.
thing is online.
Yeah.
So the thing is that if you ask too much question, you'll be ripped off.
Yeah, absolutely. We
So,
don't
yes.
like reading. It's so
Yes.
true.
Maybe
You'll be ripped off.
next time we have time, you are raising the issue of that the
Chieftaincy.
chieftaincy institution is anachronistic and should be wiped out.
Yeah, it should
I'm
be-
sure
it should
next
be wiped
time we would have.
Next time we'll have to engage him.
You got a resource person.
Create the opportunity for us to
Yeah.
engage on whether the chieftaincy institution in Ghana is
Yeah,
It's a laudable idea, or it should be abolished.
Yeah, or not.
Well, So,
Okay.
You know that is not happening, so don't even think about it. Some people are enjoying this position
If
and
they want
will
to,
never give
if
it
they
up.
want to learn how to abolish it, they should just come consult. It's so easy. It's so easy.
Just give us a gist of it.
Can I play the Fifth Amendment until that?
You play the fifth.
until that day.
Yes.
all right, so I guess this is it for now. We're going to sign out, and we hope to see you in the next video. Hopefully we can bring you great discussions like this to enlighten our people. And it's all about education. We need to enlighten ourselves. It's just as simple as that. Before we sign out, we would like to introduce ourselves. I'm SKT Senior for short on YouTube, and to my right,
Oh, Theophilus.
okay, and
Charles.
then you have the original John Paul.
Yeah.
We all live in the Dallas area, and we've been friends way back from
Yeah.
Bishop Eman College.
2001 to
2004.
Yeah.
Yes. So until next time, it is adieu for now. Peace out.
Yeah.